Hello and welcome to Minerals, Rocks, and Fossil Talks. I'm your paleo teacher, Jen, and it's time for Fossil Friday. We looked at Manny the woolly mammoth last week, so this week let's take a look at his mostly fearless companion, Sid the sloth. He would have lived in North America from the Pliocene through the late Pleistocene, about 5 million to 13,000 years ago, in spruce-dominated mixed conifer hardwood forests, which are not unlike a lot of the forests we have in North America today. It was first discovered by Colonel John Stuart, who sent the fossils to none other than Thomas Jefferson. There was a femur fragment, an ulna, a radius, and foot bones, including 3 large claws. Jefferson named it Megalonyx, meaning great claw, and he thought they belonged to a very large cat like a lion. He later corrected this idea when he saw Jules Cuvier's description of Megatherium from South America, in which Cuvier identified it as a giant ground sloth. However, contrary to Cuvier, Jefferson did not believe things went extinct, so he asked Lewis and Clark to keep an eye out for living specimens of Megalonyx on their famous trek across the continent. They may not have found one, but bones were found with markings from flint tools, so that, at the very least, Jefferson was correct in believing they existed alongside humans. The Megalonyx was found in Haynes Cave, West Virginia, a cave system made out of Paleozoic limestones later used by Pleistocene mammals as a home. Despite what we saw in Ice Age, Sid would have been far too big to climb a tree, and he was certainly not built for it like his living cousins. But a cave would work nicely as a home. Megalonyx lived alongside mammoths, mastodons, smilodon, dire wolves, short-faced bears, American lions, glyptodonts, and of course, early humans. Megalonyx belongs in the class Mammalia, the infraclass Placentalia, the magnaorder Adelantogenata, the superorder Xenarthra, the order Pilosa, the superfamily Megatheriodea, the family Megalonychidae, and the subfamily Megalonychinae. Its closest living relative is the 3-toed sloth. And yes, the 2-toed sloth is actually quite far removed from the 3-toed sloth. It seems weird, but yeah, they're not really that closely related, but they are each other's closest living relatives. Anyway, Megalonyx was quite a large animal at almost 10 feet in length, about 3 meters. It walked on all fours when it wasn't eating, and it stood using a tripod stance with its feet plantigrade, so on the foot bones instead of toes, like us, and tail for balance when it stopped. It had powerful arms with 3 large curved claws that it used to pull branches closer to eat. It had large, wide hips, enabling it to sit in a semi-erect posture. It lacked front teeth, but the molars were high-crowned and peg-like, great for grinding vegetation. Thanks to some specimens found in Iowa, we know that Megalonyx lived about 19 years, reached sexual maturity at about 6.5 years, and that their gestation time was about 14 months. It would appear that they would sometimes form small social groups with juveniles and adults all together. Well, thanks for coming to today's lesson. Make sure you tune in Monday to learn about the mineral carnallite. Have a good weekend and fossilize you later.